We all have goals and we know we need to celebrate them. Some of us know we need to celebrate each step along the way. But what happens when life throws us a curveball? What are we supposed to do when we can't make those goals anymore? I shared a blog this morning just about that, about goals. And two important pieces in that blog were one, that we need to set goals that match who we are, and two, that we need to celebrate each step along the way so that we have the practice of celebrating when we get to the big milestone. But what's been showing up for me in the last little while is people are really stressed. And part of it is we're overwhelmed with all of the things that need to be done, with all of the things in the world. And we're not taking a step back to look at what is the big picture and what do we need in that big picture and what does it really look like. Some of the things for me, I had a great conversation with some friends this weekend, actually Monday morning. We went out for breakfast and I shared a little bit of what had gone on for me in the last couple of years. And my friend really held up the mirror and she said, "Whoa, you're still very stressed about some of that stuff." I went, "Oh my." I hadn't realized it, but I guess even in the way I said it to her, she could see that my whole body sort of tensed up and the stress was still there and I still needed something to help me get through that. And what I realized is I've been so focused on clients and my children and my relationship and everything else outside of myself that I didn't look at how was everything that happened actually affecting me and what did I need to do to take care of myself in that. Now, I'd done all the things, I did all the self-care and everything else, but I didn't see how much it was still affecting me. And what did that mean and what does that look like? And now, how do I change my life accordingly? So one of the first things I did was I didn't meet some goals last year, just a reality. There were some things that just didn't happen because of everything that was going on through COVID. I did meet some of them, but not others. And I also have started to see the other things that have added stress to my life that maybe was a way I used to handle things. And now I'm looking at it going, wait, I've created something here that I didn't really mean to create. And the first thing we have to do in order to see that is when I always talk about a supervisor, I had a manager who used to say to me, "Get on the balcony, Lisa. We need to get on the balcony." And what he meant by that, I always use the example of a trench. And we're looking at the trench. Well, if you're in the trench with your team all the time and there's no one on the balcony taking a bigger view, that larger overview, then we can't see what's happening. And I use the idea of a trench because then you have people who are two trenches that are coming together. If there's no one on that balcony, how do we know that anyone's ever going that those two trenches are ever going to come together? So you really want to make sure there is someone on that balcony. So how to know that you're not on that balcony? These are the first things that come to mind. First, if you're saying things like always or never, or someone in your vicinity is saying always or never, most likely they've narrowed their view. They're not taking a look at the bigger picture. Another one is if there's a victim in your story, and especially if you're the victim, then you're not taking a higher view of what's actually going on. And I just see Keith has come in and made a comment as a business owner. No, it is not always easy to remember to take care of ourselves. We're so focused. And I think that's what happened for me is I was so focused on running the business and taking care of everyone else that I forgot to see what was it doing to me. So those couple of things I want you to pay attention to. If you hear yourself as the victim in your story, if you hear one of your team members as the victim of your story, then they've narrowed their view. And we need to now step back out and look at the bigger picture and longer term view, longer and wider, we'll say. And that will help you to make new decisions. So for me right now, my new decision is that I'm going to take some time off. And for me, that looks like taking every Friday off this summer. I'm going to take a full week at some point, but I'm going to start taking every Friday off because the last 2 years have been so busy that I didn't focus on the other portions of my life, which are the things that bring me joy. And that was an important step to make. But I wouldn't have been able to make that if, one, I hadn't had a friend to hold up the mirror. She is also a coach and used to be my coach. So she held up that mirror for me. And it was just in that second of her seeing what my body did when I told her the story. having someone hold up the mirror, it's really helpful to have a coach or those really good friends. And so just to be clear for all the leaders out there, if your friends are signing up for your bull, then they are not your friends. You want some different friends who are going to tell you when it's bull. You can fill in the rest of that blank. So that's a bit of a longer one today because I'm feeling very passionate about it, and it's something happening for me right now, and I know it's happening for other leaders. We haven't paid attention to ourselves in the last couple of years. I see it with entrepreneurs who really focused to make sure their businesses stayed open through COVID, and now we're going, whew, we need a break. So take that bigger picture view. What is it that you need right now as the leader? Whether you have people working for you or not, if you aren't running a business, you are the leader. You need to get up on that balcony and take a look at the whole picture. Once you do that, you'll start to see, okay, these are the things that need shifting. These are the things that maybe need to stay the same or need refocusing on. I'm going to be speaking in a couple of things this week. I will put some of the links in the chat, but if you go to my webpage, which is right on there now, lmwcoaching.ca, and go to calendar, you'll see the upcoming events, talking about a couple of different things at the chamber next week. I'll be talking about succession planning, and in July, I'll be with the networking group online, talking about hiring your first VA. So if you're one of those solopreneurs right now who need that help, you're welcome to join us. As always, if you ever need it, please just book the 20-minute calls. It will be in the comments underneath this as soon as the video is done. But make sure that you are reaching out. You do need someone to hold up that mirror. If you don't have someone that's in your life, then find a coach. I'm always happy to do that. But if I'm not the right person for you, find the right person for you. It's so important that we have that, especially in our leadership roles, because we are the ones who are meant to be on that balcony, taking the bigger view all of the time. And that can be exhausting at times. Have an amazing week. It's finally beautiful here. We had some weird weather in the last couple of days, but we're finally getting some beautiful weather, and hopefully we'll get some time out to enjoy it. Have a great week.